Greetings, fellow survivors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series playing Survive the Fall. If you would like to skip the game's overview or the details of this series, please use YouTube chapters. Welcome everybody to a new series playing Survive the Fall. It's a game where you explore, loot, fight in an open world action game set in a post-apocalyptic future after a devastating meteor strike. Build a settlement as a safe haven and new home for your survivors. Leverage the strength of your community members to overcome these harsh new times, where rivaling factions fight for supremacy. Rebuild society against seemingly overwhelming odds. The game will release in about 2 days. I'm playing a pre-release branch, so there might be changes between today and 2 days from now, in terms of like bugs or changes or whatever. I'll be playing on normal difficulty and leaving some of the major decisions to you guys, but also please no spoilers. New game. So there's a bunch of different difficulty customizations for combat, survival, stealth, scavenging, and camp. I'm going to be leaving all of these on normal.
The world we knew ceased to exist when the comet came, all lost in the glimpse of an eye. It soon turned out that those who perished initially were the lucky ones. From the crater came the mist, and with it came stasis. Shroomers are those who embrace stasis, drawing from its powers. A symbiosis of the unknown and man, a new breed is born. Those who call themselves the Sighted have forsaken the old laws. Madness drives their deeds. Some seek refuge in graveyard cities. Others find only death among the ashes. In these harsh times, everything you desire can be obtained for a steep price. Materials, resources, or lives can be given or taken. In the fallen world, a community of avant-garde nomads still crave any bits of joy, constantly wandering the wastes back and forth. There are finally those who wish to stay away from prying eyes, always vigilant and carefully planning their next move. Mystery surrounds their actions. And there is you. United together against it all.
Big day tomorrow, huh? I hope we'll find some game. We're definitely getting a deer. I spotted some tracks a couple days ago. Look at you, Mr. Expert. You've only been out, what, twice? 3 times, and guess what? Still in one piece. Liz, you joining us? Nope. I promised Rust I'd help him out in the canteen. That old geezer's more interested in your curves than your helping hands. Jealous much? Good luck hunting tomorrow, guys. Oh, it's gonna be good. Trust me. I can turn up the game, but I can't do that in the middle of a cinematic without actually canceling the cinematic, which is why I couldn't adjust anything. You know, because all games are like that, more or less. Alright. Here we go. So this is the game's tutorial, and I'm going to be following it to the letter. Hard beginnings, get to the marked point. Your team automatically detects interesting places and objects around. Move your character closer to an object and point your flashlight at it to reveal available actions. Mouse is obviously rotate the flashlight, and F is to perform the action with the selected character. Harvest food. So you hit F once to initiate, and then you can hold it to search faster. Searching faster is louder, just like in State of Decay. So we got some common food. Lovely. The base is calling. We need to pick up. Hold T to open. Dan, status. Any signs of the game yet? We're craving for meat here. Nothing yet. We're getting to the hunting grounds. Good. Any estimate on your return? Just take the teapot out. We'll be back in no time. Very funny. T's out for months. Don't come back empty-handed. Roger that, Rust. We're on our way. Alright, check the riverbank. Now, as you can see at the top of the screen, there is a compass. And this is pointing me to my zone. Waypoints. I'm currently in the tutorial, so I can't do anything I want, obviously. Some things are locked. You don't have to do all the tasks yourself. You have companions for that. You can delegate certain tasks while performing other activities with the main character. Your companions will automatically move the found items to the team's inventory. So Q and E will delegate tasks. So for instance, if I walk up to this wood, I can hit E and tell Spencer to go grab it. And then I can walk up to this wood, hit Q, and tell Zach to go grab it. And as you can see, he grabs 2 wood and returns back to the group. And then Zach grabs 1 firewood, returns back to the group. And it wants me to pick up 6 pieces of wood. Now my character happens to be skilled in scavenging, so I'm better at scavenging these spots faster than they are. So at the end of the day, it would be better if I'm doing it, or at least faster. But the task delegation is really handy. I love it. Proceed to the next point by the river. Some objects require the use of melee tools to interact with them. Your companion Zach is currently equipped with an axe. That allows him to cut down the fallen tree. Melee tools are also usable in combat. So, the characters on the left there, 1 is the bottom, 3 is the top, 2 is the middle. So to switch to Zach, either I could hit 2 or tab. Tab will get me there, or 2 will get me there. I walk up to it with Zach, chop down the fallen tree, and I can pick up the wood. Use tracking skill to follow the animal trail. And there will be a prompt for this in just a moment. So, is the combat turn-based? No. It's real-time combat with pause mechanics, as you'll see soon. Each character has their talents. Zach is a skilled scavenger. Dan is an excellent hunter. Spencer is a trained soldier. All characters have the ability to detect traces in the environment, which can be useful when completing quests or tracking down opponents. Hold X to use the tracking skill. And Dan is the best hunter here, so I'm going to use it with Dan. And here you can see there's obviously hoof deer tracks. That's weird. These don't look like animal tracks. They're human. Take a look, Zach. So now I'm not mole eyes anymore? Zach has 1 eye, so we tease him. They're not from our camp. Where are they? Haven't seen a soul on the trail. Not our problem. We're here for deer, remember? Hang on. The base is on the line again. Dan, you there? There's some commotion before... I don't know who... What? I just heard some scraps. Over. Crackling and stack noises. Alright. Next, open the container with a lockpick and loot it. So in our backpack here, this is our team loot. Team loot is the combination of everything that these 3 characters are carrying. And we do have a lockpick, so I'm going to be using the lockpick myself on this locked box. And we got a medkit and a national park map. National Park map is the map to this area. Apparently it's still locked for the tutorial, but it won't be soon. Oh, there it goes. The map you just found shows the area before the apocalypse. As you travel, you will slowly discover what the indicated areas look like now. Markers will appear on the map, pointing to points of interest. You can move between some of them using fast travel function. Every non-player character has a cone of vision. They will notice your presence if you remain in their line of sight too long. Crouching makes it less likely for characters to be seen or heard by enemies. C to crouch. Alright, I'm going to switch back to Dan. Or switch to Dan. I was already on Dan. Because he's the best hunter. He also has the hunting rifle. And holding right mouse button allows me to aim. Hold the aim button and point your weapon crosshair at the target to aim. Then you can hold the fire range button to target enemy's weak spot for extra damage. Skin the animal. And Dan, of course, is the hunter, so he skins better. Your active character focuses automatically on the closest enemy. During combat, you can activate tactical pause to directly command your teammates. For example, attack selected enemies with melee or ranged weapons. So left control activates the tactical pause. WSD allows you to move the camera, and you can delegate actions with the mouse. So for instance, I've entered tactical pause. I'm playing as Dan, so I can tell Spencer to stealth attack. Actually, let's not bother stealth attacking. So now my allies are automatically attacking these enemies. So I just told Spencer and Zach to split up. And if I hit left control again, it will execute those last commands. So the NPCs will think for themselves once they're done with their last command. But there we go. 2 wolves killed. Because we're armed with axes and machetes. So it wasn't like we were defenseless in melee. Get your asses back here now. We're under attack by an identified enemy. Those maniacs are burning the whole place down. I repeat, Rust? Get all the people inside the bunker. Leave everything else behind. We're on our way. Get to the base by the quickest route. For the love of God, who are these guys? Looks like a kind of cult? And Spencer said he'll distract them by sneaking around. Okay, get to the base. Optional. Silently eliminate the cultists on my way. Don't mind if I do. Observe enemy groups and detect the patrol paths. Hide in bushes while crouching and out of combat to stay undetected. As long as enemies aren't alerted, they will never see you. You can perform a stealth assassination if you approach an enemy from behind. After a successful assassination, it's best to hide the body of the humanoid enemy so it cannot be detected by other foes. If they ever found one, use gadgets like rocks, equipped currently by Dan, to distract them. So I'll demo a rock in a second. There we go. I also hit V, which is split up. But you know what we can do? We can do a coordinated assassination of these two. So, stealth attack by Dan, and execute. Now that one over there is semi-alerted because I threw a rock at him. So he will detect us easier than the others. So I'm going to leave Zach in the bushes here and go after this big fella. Yeah, this is kind of like the Ghost Crew game, a little bit. Although with that said, open combat, real-time open combat is also very much a thing. Okay, so we have a someone on Outlook above. Let's go up and around. Also, let's loot corpses. And because no one's really around, ooh, bandages. I can loot them loud because it's not like anyone's going to hear me. Shotgun shells. And back to crouching. So I'm going to hit V as in Victor to split up. Hide his body. And while we're hiding that body, I can easily split up between the two. Nothing on that body. Okay. There we go. So he was coming to investigate me, and instead I threw a rock, distracting him, giving me plenty of time to hide this body. They'll still come up here to investigate, because they're still curious what that noise might have been. But now all the evidence of my assassination is gone. Xavier and Abyssal Lord, thank you for the resubs. So both of these guys are a bit on high alert. And a lot of this game is using your squad members in concert with one another to divide and conquer and clear quick. And there we go. Everyone that was in my way happens to be dead. Oh, except for you. Alright, all enemies are dead. Now move, get back to the base. They've probably got Spence by now. He's tougher than you think. Let's keep moving. So this is our base. Your team has successfully returned from an expedition. A new day in the camp awaits. Of course, our camp just got burned down, so I wouldn't be too happy about that. As a result, here's what we gained. Some food, some timber, some firewood, Molotov, bandages, and then hunger, tiredness, injury, and contamination. Dan, Zach, I'm so glad you're alive. Oh. And, yeah. Hi. Where's Spence? He's out there, drawing the enemy's attention. We might never see him again, will we? He's tough, but there were too many foes on his tail. I see. Tell us what happened here. We were attacked by fire-worshipping lunatics. They hit us hard, as you can see. They were in the forest, too. Thank God you made it. Not everyone was so lucky. Clark and several others are dead. Tell us everything, Rust. Those savages came from the valley and broke through the gate, howling like animals. A crazed mob destroying everything in their path, looting, killing, taking prisoners. Those who resisted were slaughtered or burned alive. I saw Clark incinerated before my eyes. Dear God, and the others? Most of us made it to the bunker in time. We watched through the door slit as they ransacked everything. The base is in ruins. We need to see what's left. We'll check it out. All right. So currently the priority is going to be repair the base. We're still obviously in the tutorial now. So camp controls. In a camp, you can give direct orders to each of your survivors. Double-clicking on a location will send the selected active settler to go there. All right. So I'm going to pause. And the main objective is to put the camp together back on its feet after the attack. Send Dan to the ruins to check damage. So I can double-click this spot. And this is our camp. I'll talk a little bit more about this outside of the tutorial. Darn it, our shelter is completely destroyed. Assign tasks to multiple survivors simultaneously by selecting the desired action and then choosing which survivor will perform it from the radial menu. The center of the radial menu always displays the active survivor. So, what we need to do is divide and conquer. So Dan, Rust, Bubba, and Zach are going to go to these active circles. We're screwed. Everything's been smashed to pieces. Only the workbench may still be usable after repair. We need to check how many resources we managed to move into the warehouse during the cultist attack. We better get moving. Diamond icons represent survivor interactions. Assign any survivor by clicking the icon. Clicking again will cancel this scheduled action or interaction. Performing each interaction is usually associated with a specific sequence of actions. Going to the warehouse, bringing the material, creating an item. In the future, it will be a good idea to build another warehouse so your survivors will benefit from shorter routes. Alright, so the current objective is to check the warehouse. And I'm going to assign this to Jen, who's closest. And now she's checking on our stockpiles. They took a lot, but there's still some stuff left. Hopefully we still have a few medkits. We need to heal Jen's wounds. Survivors will get tired and hungry over time and can get injured or contaminated while on expedition. If these problems remain unattended, survivors will be weakened and eventually die. To keep everyone healthy and ready to work, perform interactions that improve their needs. So over here, I can click Treat Injuries with a Medkit and select Jen. And now Jen will go over to this makeshift camp and treat her injuries with a medkit. To explain a little bit further, if I hit left alt, Jen has a 38% injury, which is different than HP. Injury is like something that you have to recover from over time, whereas HP is your hit point pool, and they're treated differently. So you've got injury, you've got tiredness, you've got contamination, you've got hunger, and these all need to be managed in camp. And now, as you can see, there's a progress bar of Jen treating her injury, so her injury at 38% will drop 25%. As you can see, the base is ravaged. We need to rebuild it from the ground up. First, let's clear out all the debris. That will give us space for a new shelter. We can't go on without one. Maybe we can salvage some resources from the wreckage to use later. Salvage resources from destroyed buildings by sending survivors directly to them. In the future, we'll be able to gather resources with specialized buildings, like a scavenger station for food, lumber mill for wood, rubble mine for rubble/metal. Alright, so here's how this works. Rust clears this. Bubba clears this. Dan clears this. Zach clears this. And these are trash piles, and as you can see, we'll get some wood and rubble out of this. Rubble. Just to pause for a second, the really important resources to go after early on are your materials, which is primarily, I would say, wood and rubble. Rubble you can think of as like foundation material. Don't think of it as like loose stones. Think of it as like brickwork, but like pre-bricks. You know, not like formed bricks, but you know, stones that you build with. When playtesting this game, I didn't realize how important rubble was really early on, and all the buildings require rubble, and I wasn't actively collecting it, which was a bad idea. So everything in the materials tab, which is fiber, plastic, scrap metal, rubble, and wood, are pretty high priority looting early on when you're trying to build stuff, because those are the materials that you need to build. If all the survivors are busy with tasks, you can speed up time. F1 and F2 are the time controls. And then here's Zach, for instance, who have cleared out that building and is bringing the rubble back to base. Zach is the good scavenger, which is why he did this significantly faster than the other three, which are taking longer. Since we salvaged some resources, let's repair the workbench. It's a bit damaged, but still usable. Once it's fixed, we can process wood into planks to construct new buildings. Broken structures block you from interacting with them. To restore a structure to working order, you need to perform a repair interaction on that structure. Once completed, the room's health points will be restored. So if we go over here, there's two building modes. This part is a little confusing. I don't think I have access to the other building mode, so I'll show you later. But this is the internal structure building mode. And if we click this, I'm going to repair it with Rust, because Rust is a builder. And Rust is grabbing materials from the Vault's warehouse and bringing it out to repair the workshop, which allows us to make planks out of wood and a bunch of other things. It's also worth noting, materials that go above your maximum, this is a pretty similar game mechanic to State of Decay 2. Materials that go above your maximum, you have a chance to lose those materials at end of day. So stockpiling more than you have room for can be a bad thing. Is there a way to see bios for the other people? Yes. So we'll get into that, but here's our people. So Dan the Trapper, Zach the Scavenger, Bubba the Cook, Russ the Builder, and Jen the Farmer. And then they also have character details about their own backstories. Former firefighter, a cook, an old-timer, skillful hands, so on and so forth. There's a lot more details about this, obviously. And if you're wondering, yes, you can increase your material stockpile and all your stockpiles in a whole bunch of different ways. We'll get into that later. Done. Now we can start processing the remaining wood into planks. To craft an item, select the crafting interaction in the workshop, choose a survivor, item, and quantity to craft. Then click the craft button. So it wants me to craft 5 planks. I'm going to use Rust because he's standing right here. Go to the planks, say 5, and craft. And then while he's doing that, there is a bunch of other trash piles around. And I'm going to put all these debris piles to good work by using it to build structures. So we might as well send our other 4 people out to go grab that. While Rust comes over here and grabs the 10 wood, I believe it is, needed to craft 5 planks. And there it goes. Out to repair the workbench. Now, the amount that you're going to lose by being over capacity is not a lot. So if you're significantly over capacity, you might lose like 1 or 2 wood, 1 or 2 rubble. It's not going to be a giant windfall of like, you've just lost 35 materials. So going above maximum is ill-advised if you can help it. But if you do go above maximum, you're not likely to lose a whole lot. So don't sweat it. Additionally, you can queue up commands. So if I go over to Zach, for instance, who's the best scavenger, and click this trash pile, I can say, hey, queue it after the first one. So once he clears this one, he'll clear that one. And then I can go to Dan and do the same thing. I can go to Jen and do the same thing. One thing to note, early on, you don't really have the ability to deal with high levels of contamination, so don't clear piles that are contaminated. You will F yourself up bad. Just fair warning. And you can see the queued tasks are allowing everyone to go run their tasks as we accelerate time. Great, now we can start building new structures. First, we need a sturdy shelter where we can add more rooms. Solid walls will definitely be useful at night. To construct new buildings and manage existing ones, use build mode. You can activate it with the button in the lower right corner, or B. In build mode, you can select and manage existing rooms by using the structure panel interaction on them. So, this was the build mode I was talking about. So there is build mode. And in build mode, this is the entire workbench structure. Whereas outside of build mode, it's the individual pieces inside that workbench. So for instance, this room here, this entire workshop has one crafting bench, but had room for 2 more things in it. And it wants me to build a shelter. So let's go ahead and plop a shelter right here. Built with Rust because he's a builder. Do they know to stay out of the contamination areas? No. Walking through them is not too much of a problem to get to like debris on the other side, but working inside of them is real bad. And we're just about done cleaning up all the debris that is on the map anyway. We'll need additional facilities and tools to clean up any more of this debris. We don't have the means to process it. Alright, now that the building frame is up, we can start filling it with dedicated rooms. Let's begin with a social room so we can meet hunger needs more efficiently. We should leave space inside the building for future expansions. To build a room, you must have an appropriate frame with available space. For instance, a social room can only be placed in an empty slot in the shelter frame. Various rooms are available for each building in the game. They offer new interactions, meet settlers' needs, and improve the functioning of other nearby rooms. So, build tab, go to the shelter, social room, and I'm going to put the social room there, and it costs 10 wood, 10 debris, and 10 fiber. Build it with Rust again. Can multiple pawns work a single job? No. And for the other people, Jen, you're a little sleepy, so go have a nap on the ground. And that's about it. So here's the social room, or like a rec room, if you will. To keep survivors healthy, tend to their needs. Basic necessities can be met using raw ingredients next to the campfire, but advanced needs require specialized buildings and rooms. The social room is an essential structure in a camp. It allows you to automate many things to minimize micromanagement, set hunger thresholds at which settler will automatically eat, hold feasts where you feed all the settlers at the same time, delegate settlers to work in structures. So if we click to further the development, we need to collect and analyze artifacts of knowledge from the old world. Thanks to this, we will be able to develop ideas for new construction and items. Right now, we could really use the knowledge to build a canteen. It would let us properly process food. Maybe something is useful among the items that you found earlier. Let's analyze them. The research interaction available in the archive is used to study items in order to obtain knowledge points. After opening the window, select the item to be examined, and you can do multiple items and accept the research. So over here in the research screen, I'm going to send Dan to analyze tactical notes. It will take 30 minutes in game, and it will yield 1 research point. I approve. Over here, this is the settler screen to manage the settlers, and I'm going to tell all the settlers to automatically eat when their hunger is down 25%. That's one of the advantages of the settler screen. And then I'm going to set Bubba to go pick up firewood from the workbench. Thank you for tuning in to Survive the Fall, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.